Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pokemon Platinum. It's been a few days since I did a stream, but it's a very warm, summer-like afternoon this Sunday. Last week of October, almost practically November, and it's 80-something degrees outside. I don't know what that is. Let me see. F to C calculator. In Fahrenheit, what is 84 degrees? Because 28 degrees Celsius. Yeah, okay. See, I was way off. I was thinking that would have been in the 30s Celsius, but no, it's 28. Which I don't mind. I was born and raised in the South, so I'm used to the heat. I definitely am not used to the super cold. I'm definitely not used to snow. But we got a lot to do today. We have a lot to go over and a lot to cover and a lot to discuss. A lot's changed just in the last week or so. First order of business is that every Friday I forget to come in and go to the Valley Wind Works and get our Drifloon. This Friday, it was on my mind the whole day, and I just didn't get around to it because I was so busy IRL, I didn't have time to sit down and play. We did go back and get our Riolu egg from Riley at Iron Island, and again, when I sit down and do a little grinding off screen, what I'm going to do is hatch this egg. In the meantime, it's going there. We're going to toss Magmortar back in the lineup, and we're off. I do need to sit down and go through all our boxes and organize everything. Some stuff is already very well organized, but I think I could probably do a little better getting the stuff out of that one box and moving it forward. In the last episode, the last time we streamed this game, I talked about how I don't know how we're going to handle the Pokedex going forward, because here's the thing. I already have a complete living dex in Pokemon Go, and I already have a complete living dex in Pokemon Home. I started with Let's Go Pikachu on the Switch and moved forward. With Pokemon Sword and Shield, those two games included so much of the National Dex, and I think National Dex at this point is an outdated term. I don't think we're looking at it like as a National Dex anymore. I think we're just looking at it as the complete Dex. But Sword and Shield had so many Pokemon in it that by the time we got like Legends Arceus, or not Legends Arceus, by the time we got around to like the Diamond and Pearl remakes, it was kind of irrelevant. We were just cherry picking a few spots that needed filling in. And then with Scarlet and Violet, they added so many that we had been missing that my living dex is literally just missing a few things like mythicals. Like I'm missing Celebi, I'm missing Deoxys. Outside of that, I don't have... There are a couple of unreleased evolution sets of Pokemon, but I think they might kind of fill that gap in with Pokemon ZA or Legend ZA that's coming out next year. I'm kind of hoping, because it would be nice to be able to finish my living dex before the Switch 2 comes out and we move into a whole new era, you know. But as far as this playthrough is concerned, even if we finish a living dex with all of our streaming with the retro Pokemon games, none of these Pokemon are ever going to be ported forward to my Switch. They're never going to be sent to Pokemon Home. So we're literally just doing it for that part of our brain that's like, you know, completionist. So, yeah. All right, other business to attend to. Let's take a look at our badges. I guess I have to use the touchscreen for this. Okay, boy, I really need to shine those bad boys. All right, we only need 2 more badges. I think we now have the ability to head up. We said 36. Okay. Staraptor, I'm going to move you. Okay. Crap, I guess that's on the poke. Nope. I need to look at my map. Is my, like, do I have a physical map? Let's see, key items. I do. Okay, yeah, so we need to head west and head up the past Mount Coronet, and we need to head to the north because we need to go check on Barry. He went to Acuity Lake, and I don't know what happened to him after that. Hope he's okay. So we're gonna go check on him. Yeah. 2024, I've been all over the place. I've had more ups and downs in 2024 than I think I've ever had in the like 7 years that I've been doing this. The inconsistencies, the moving back and forth between Twitch and YouTube, the brain fog from all my ailments, the, you know, the ups and downs, IRL stuff. It's been nuts. But I have finally, after months of just like killing myself and struggling, I'm doing so much fucking better. And I am aiming, like, one of my biggest aims going forward with doing the streaming stuff is consistency. I want to stream every day. I want to stream roughly around the same time every day. I want to quit being so willy-nilly, because if I want to grow an audience, then I need to do better with that, you know. So that's one of my top priorities for 2025 is to just build and maintain a good schedule for this. We're gonna forget takedown in lieu of strength. They're both physical or normal physical moves. We gotta get through the mountain. I'm also playing around with games audio levels, so you'll have to let me know if the game is too quiet. Because I increased the gain on my microphone only for it to sound all blown out. But like I listen to my stuff and it just doesn't. My streams and my videos, once they're up on YouTube, they don't seem as loud as everybody else's videos. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Wait, who has defog? Oh no. You know what? I'm not burning another slot. Just not doing it. We want super repel. Super repel. Wait, do I have Rock Smash with me? Yeah, we can get this item. I went to Walmart the other night and I was looking on the clearance aisle and I saw some of these cups and I thought, oh, that'd be neat to have. And I didn't get it because I'm trying my best not to just buy stuff that I randomly see in stores. I'm trying to restrain myself from spending any money till I can pay my way back out of debt. But I gave up and went back the next day and I bought this. It's I've seen a lot of these cups at people get these from Starbucks. They're textured. I don't ever go to Starbucks, mainly because I don't like coffee. I also don't like how expensive they are. I think they're overpriced. And I also don't understand all the fancy names they use. So it feels overwhelming. It makes me feel already dumber than I think I am. But I got this and I've been filling it up with tea so that I can drink something a little more akin to water that's not necessarily water. I'm drinking less soda now than I have been for a while. Even though I've been drinking like Diet Dr. Pepper now for a handful of years. I got off full fat sodas years ago. It was just too much sugar. And then I put stevia in my tea. I don't use sugar in my tea, so you know, I'm doing good with that. But I love the texture of this. It's so fun to hold. It's also a lot less cumbersome than the water bottle that I've been using, you know, on stream for a while. people's like, what does that have to do with the game? I don't know. I just like it. Just let me have this. All right, so this is going to be a long route today. And we're going to be battling a lot of trainers today, which will give us the opportunity to kind of have chit-chat session here. So that's kind of the plan for today's episode. I did finish up Luigi's Mansion 2, our little Halloween special this year. It was fun. My brain fog was really an issue. A lot of the puzzles that would have, should have been like super easy for me to figure out, I ended up having to look up a walkthrough for, and I'm not happy about that, but no one to blame but myself, I suppose. And I don't want to start any new games just yet, because we're too close to our season finale, and I don't want to start any long-running series that would bleed through into the next year. But after years of putting it off, we are going to be tackling AM2R this year. The thing is, Nintendo has lost their minds and they're just striking everybody down, like all the ROM sites, emulator sites, and now they're coming after YouTubers who play ROM hacks. And we've never played any ROM hacks on the channel. Until recently, I started playing a few ROM hacks and fan-made games, but they've always been, paywall behind my Patreon streams. But AM2R is one that I'm still on the fence about. Do I go ahead and play it, and everybody can watch that playthrough on the main YouTube channel, or do I put it behind a paywall so Nintendo doesn't know it's there? I've always maintained that the patrons needs, even though it's like $3 a month, it's nothing. I'm not asking for the moon. But I do at least two, every once in a while, 3 patron streams a month. They usually run longer than the average streams do. And we play games that you would never see on the channel. And I've been putting a lot of the ROM hack playthroughs behind the patron paywall. A lot of it so that patrons have something, unique to watch that you wouldn't see on the channel, and 2, so that Nintendo can't see it and they can't take down what they don't know exists. So I've got another few weeks to kind of make up my mind and figure out what I'm going to do for sure, because if I don't do AM2R as our season opener, then that means I've got to figure out what we are going to do for a season opener. And since it's always Metroid, we'll have to play a Metroid game in some regard, and we've already played every Metroid game they've ever made. So where do I go now? We're just kind of sitting here twiddling our thumbs, waiting on Metroid Prime 4 to be released, which I'm hoping is next year, and nothing happens to delay it. Okay. These hyper potions. Oh, I should have went shopping. They are fully kitted up. She says she's fully kitted up. Never heard that before. Never heard that term. Move the audio back down. Yeah, like I'm looking at the audio levels in Streamlabs, and it's like the overworld music is really low, but the battle music is really loud. So I might end up adjusting the volume a couple more times today. I also got a new necklace. You won't really be able to see it it's not going to come across very well in the tiny little box, but it's a T-Rex skull. I've been wanting this particular necklace for, like, at this point, almost going on 2 decades. And I never could find one that wasn't janky. Every T-Rex necklace I've ever looked up on Etsy, eBay, Amazon, Walmart, Target, you name it. I've looked on those websites for years and years, and they're always like 3D necklaces that are bulky and large. I wanted something small. I wanted something that you would see everyday normies wear out in public. Because I used to wear this amber necklace that was huge. And I always felt a little bit self-conscious about the size of that thing. But everybody around me was like so supportive, like, nah, you do you. You wear what you want. You wear what makes you happy. And I'm like, well, what makes me happy is not looking like a jackass in public. But I don't know. There's a fine line between being supportive of your friends and family and loved ones and then like being a yes man. And I think people were just being a yes man about it. Nobody was going to tell me the cold hard truth. That I looked ridiculous. See what's up here. Yeah, it's pretty ironic that we're playing the snow part of this game now when it's so summer-like outside. I've got like the door. I have two doors over here. I have one solid metal door that you close. Then I have one of those glass doors that has the raisable window in it, and it has a screen to keep bugs out. I've got that screen raised, so I've got fresh air coming in from outside. And I'm sitting here just enjoying it because even though it's hot outside, the humidity that accompanies the heat during the summer is not here because it's autumn. So it's a drier heat, which I appreciate because I live in the southern US, and when it gets hot, it gets muggy. Very wet, very sticky outside. Which, you know, I realized last year just how much I actually like that and how much I think I've underappreciated that in my life over the years. You know, when I was a kid, summer really put the strain on you as far as being outside and being active because the air is heavier. There's more moisture in the air and it's so hot. It's basically like running around and playing in a sauna just outside. And you know, when you get older and your bones aren't what they used to be and your muscles and joints aren't what they used to be, you can really feel it. It's like wearing the air. So a lot of people complain about it, especially people who visit from up north or out west where it's so dry. They're like, my God, how do you live in this? And I'm like, well, we're used to it. It gets worse the further south you go. You could go down to Florida, Louisiana, and it really gets into muggy territory. It gets into soupy, swampy. But no, this year I kind of had the epiphany of like, I really love where I live as far as the climate is concerned, because when you get neck deep into winter, you get some real hard cold, but you don't have a lot of the snow. So you don't have to worry about power outages, travel issues, stuff like that. You get a very nice winter that you can enjoy. And then when summer comes, it's not like Nevada summer. You know, it's not 110 degrees in the shade, but it gets hot enough for you to get outside and really do stuff and get a workout. So, I don't know. I really like the climate where I live. And I don't ever intend on moving far enough away from where I am now for it to matter. Shit, I don't remember what Pokemon he said it was going to use. Oh, I can use the stream to look. Rapidash. Thank you, Streamlag. You're gonna get an earthquake. But yeah, I'll be honest with you, a lot of it kind of depends on... Tyler lives in Tennessee now. If he plans on staying there indefinitely, I might consider moving up there at some point. But other than that, like I honestly don't have any plans to move super far away. I just don't know where I would go. God damn it. Not Torterra. Fuck it. Bibarel, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know where I'd go. This 2024 has really kind of been a year of like, it's been the year of epiphanies. It's been the year of me really learning to appreciate life, where I am, what I have or don't have. Just, you know, 2024 has been super humbling to me personally. I don't know about everybody else. You know, what we've been through with politics being wonky for the past 8 years, and where we've been with climate change kind of starting to really, people are accepting it, accepting the reality of it more, but we're also seeing storms ramp up and become more crazy. Then even on a more personal level, just, you know, just appreciating the things that I do have. That's really been baking in this year into my noodle. Okay, how do I get you without fainting you? Shit. I was hoping the fact that you were part ice would help. See if we can, because if we can paralyze, that would help. No. I was also looking back over some of my old episodes the other day. I was kind of doing like a rerun stream over on Twitch. I just loaded up I loaded up my Donkey Kong Country playthrough, which at this point has got to be, what, 6-ish years old. And one of the things I noticed, because that was before I started streaming, is that I talk almost nonstop. And that was something that I kind of started to stray away from. The longer that I did this, the longer that I was a content creator, you know, I started to get to where I was doing streams where you're doing an hour's worth of content daily. You're going to run out of stuff to talk about fast. And I did. Especially, you know, when you live a very like sedentary life at home and you don't go out and do a lot, you don't have stories to tell. You don't have adventures that you can call on and be like, hey, here's a memory. You just don't have material. So, and then too, we played so much Pokemon, like there's so much downtime in a Pokemon playthrough and so much like dead air, just because the nature of RPGs, and you're just waiting on turns to end. That was one of the things I noticed. All right, Snover, seemingly curious about people, they gather around footsteps they find on snowy mountains. I think Snover's underrated. I should probably use a Mama Snow more. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back and heal because we lost Torterra along the way, and we're gonna do some shopping. And Then we'll head up the mountain, or not up the mountain, but we'll head north. But yeah, I in the early days, you know, when I was doing anywhere from like 20-minute videos to 40-minute videos, I would try and talk the whole time, because that was a big concern of mine, was like dead air. And those were like just videos. There was no streaming back then. So I felt like the video needed to, it needed to be entertaining from point A to point B. That's where a stream necessarily doesn't. A stream, you could be a little more forgiving with a live stream, because you can take a live stream and like cut out the dead air and make a cohesive video for YouTube. Because when you're streaming, it's just constant, nonstop. There's no editing. You're talking and interacting with chat, or in my case, dead air. Let's see. I'll buy 2. What about 4 hills? But I tell you, one of the things that's been very detrimental to me through my entire Let's Play career, lack of a better term, I guess people are going to scoff at me calling it a career, because I wouldn't call it a career either. Lack of a better term. But one of the things that's kind of been detrimental to me my entire time of doing this has been like the brain fog, the sleepiness, just always being dead when I sit down to do this. It has been very frustrating to be entertaining and to do this while struggling with all the fucking nonsense bullshit that I've struggled with IRL health-wise over the years. And it's one of those, it sucks because it's not as pronounced. Unless I tell you I'm struggling with these things, you have no idea, because I'm not coming on here with other disabilities. Like I don't come on here, you know, missing a limb or blind or deaf. You know, I don't have a very obvious thing. You know, a lot of it is like, you know, it builds upon itself, you know. I have an unhealthy relationship with food. I binge eat, I overeat, I depression eat, I self-soothe eat, I cope eat, I do all that. So I eat copious amounts of food, which leads to obesity, which has led to diabetes and sleep apnea. And the sleep apnea doesn't let me get deep regenerative sleep. So I'm brain fogged most of my day. I'm tired. I'm running on fumes. It's hard for me to do anything or concentrate. My cognitive functions have gone way down. Hand-eye coordination gone way down. Those moments of just like, duh, have gone way up, where my brain just stops working in the middle of a sentence. My mobility is shot to hell. The depression has been bad. Anxiety is bad. You know, I've got just a myriad of bullshit, you know, physically, that goes against me. So over the years, all of those things have kind of affected me extremely negatively on screen. You know, it's caused a lot of dead air and downtime. And I think ultimately that's kind of one of the reasons we never really took off as a channel, as a brand, whatever you want to call it. I think people just ultimately find me to be a big snore, big snooze fest. And I kind of felt that that was going to be the case going in. Like, I had no misgivings when I first started doing this years ago. I kind of knew that I was nothing special, that I was going to be like another fish in the sea of billions of people who were doing this. But I was hoping beyond hope that we could like have a teeny tiny little following. If 3 or 4 people in chat on a regular basis that I could talk to, and you know, we build a little community amongst ourselves. But no, it never really happened. I have at this point maybe a few regulars that have stuck by me. More recently, I've got a few people who they're trying to support me the best they can, and I'm really appreciative of it. And it makes me feel like I need to really try harder and do better with the streaming stuff, you know. But things aren't going to improve here unless they improve here. And that's one of the things that I've been working on since around this time last year. And it's just been slow going. But I can confidently say a lot of progress has been made. It just, it's going to take a while before it translates to this side of things. Wow. One really well-placed thunder shut him down. Ooh. It's going to be hard to use Hippowdon, though, because of the type differences. Oh, we were this close to a healing station? A warm battle, little else. Oh, so thick fat doesn't protect you from everybody. I thought the ability thick fat cut the attack from all attacks. She says just ice and fire. Okay. The fire one I don't get. Ice I get. I don't understand how it would help with fire. I'd grant you a skinny person came up with that. Because no fat person is ever going to tell you why the fat on my body is so thick that I don't feel heat. No, you would actually feel heat 4 times as much if that were the case. Fat traps heat in the body. At least I'm not dealing with a water type or an ice type. I should be able to just keep whittling away at Mr. Mime. Crunch. Don't know why I'm not using crunch. Another case of like not paying that close of attention. There we go. Scyther. Bum 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 bum. Ooh, that did a lot. And that did nothing. Okay. That tells me what I need to do. The weather effects of Pokemon take up so much time. Today I tried something a little different. I actually put the link on Blue Sky and Threads, you know, like, hey, I'm going live. I'm currently live. And then I used the hashtag Pokemon. And kind of figured we might get a few new people, but it's like, I guess not. That's okay. It's not okay. It's disappointing, but it'll have to be okay. I'm gonna feel real dumb when I don't get any people watching me on YouTube either, because I made a big stink about it on Twitch the other day. I was like, where is everybody? I have 200 followers and nobody shows up to streams, you know? I have 700 on YouTube, which makes the fact that nobody shows up even worse. I knew they were going to be dead subs. The second I looked at my analytics and saw that the algorithm was showing me in like the Philippines and India and all these exotic places, I was like, you know what? Not only do most of these people not speak English, I don't think they understand what I'm doing with the channel. I don't think they quite understand what my channel is, because they all were coming in off the heels of that James Bond Let's Play I did. So they probably thought they were watching some sort of movie or something. Probably didn't understand what they were looking at. And now I have all these new people who probably never ever watch the channel, you know, past that initial video. Which sucks. It really does. But I can't do anything about it. I do wish that YouTube and Twitch and all of these platforms would do something about like the dead subs. Like, I don't mind losing subs if it means cleaning out the ones that don't watch. But social media platforms do occasionally do a cleaning sweep where they get rid of all like the spam bots, sex bots, you know, all of the like solicitation accounts that have followed you trying to sell you stuff, or here's my OnlyFans, go follow that. You know, you have a lot of that on it, especially Instagram. I am constantly seeing like, I'll get a follow or a like or something, and I'll look in there and it'll just be like a very scantily clad woman who's trying to push her OnlyFans. And I'm like, that's good for you, you know, you do you. But that has nothing to do with me or what I'm doing here with my streaming stuff. Like, we're not even remotely related or in the same category. So it's like, I want actual people to follow me on Instagram, not just like bots and sex accounts and stuff, you know. But at least Instagram will go in and clean them out every now and then. I don't think YouTube does that. I've heard people over the years say that they do it from time to time, but I've never. In the going on 8 years that I've been doing YouTube, I've never seen them do it. Not once have I seen them like go in and clean out bot followers and dead subs and stuff like that. I think they should, though. I was really curious about what Pokemon are over here, but looks like we're just going to run into a bunch of Graveler. Or Snover. Oh my God. I'm not dealing with this right now. All right, we move on. We push onward. Route 217. Oh, hello. You are going to catch your death of pneumonia. Is what I always heard the old people say when I was a kid. You were going to get sick out here barefoot in the snow with no jacket, no coat, no nothing. I'm trying to get sick. We'll go Sand Tomb. Doot, doot, doot. Ah, it missed. Son of a bitch. Pat, pat, pat. Thank you. Wow, all that for nothing. Oh, we changed Ice Storm to Sandstorm. But since as I was saying earlier, I don't want to start any new series right this moment. There are a few things that I need to do in the meantime. I needed to, we started Life is Strange. We did the whole first episode only to find out that they paywalled all the other episodes behind like $20 per episode for a 10-year-old game. So on principle alone, I was like, oh, well, no, we're just not going to finish this playthrough. But they did the remastered. That's all the episodes in one game. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not paying for that. Because it was like a full price game. But I was able to snatch it on sale the other day. So now I just need to go in and play the first episode off screen and try and match all the decisions we made in our Let's Play of it. And then we could pick up from there. I also need to do a lot of off-camera work for Pokemon Platinum. Then there are a few other things that I want to go back and touch on that I haven't touched on in a while. There's the F-Zero game that they just put out on Switch this year. I think that was just here. It's not a new installment in F-Zero. It's kind of in the vein of like Mario 35 or Tetris 99. It's one of those games. But we only did it once and we haven't touched it since. So I'd like to go back and at least do another episode of that. But that might not be stream worthy. Like that feels like something that you sit down and record instead. And there were a few other projects like that. A few other games where I need to go back and play. Where maybe we did a one-off. There's Paleo Pines. We played that once and then never went back to it because it's a farming sim and nobody told me it was going to be a farming sim. And I don't like farming sims. I just like dinosaurs and I got tricked into it. But I will try and make the most of it. So I want to go back and play the F-Zero, Paleo Pines and stuff like that. So that may be what we do leading up to November 20th is we may just go back and play a few things like that. I've kind of been hankering to do Mario Kart on stream. It's just, that's such a nothing stream because it's just Mario Kart, you know? Why would you watch it? And of course, I guess that goes true with any of my stuff. Why does anybody watch anything I do, you know? People have always said, I watch streams for the streamer, not the game. But I'm not that. I'm nothing. I'm not entertained. Oh no. I'm at odds with this whole Let's Play thing and the streaming thing I do. Because I don't have a lot of confidence in myself. I don't really see myself as somebody. I wouldn't watch me. But it always baffles me when other people do. But yeah, I would like to do some Mario Kart streams. It's just, why would you watch them? That's got to be super boring for the audience. But I think if I go back and touch on Paleo Pines or F-Zero, that really might be worth people's time to watch those. There were a few other things, a few other projects that I worked on this year that didn't really survive to see the light of day for 2025. I've been back and forth for a long time on whether I want my YouTube to just be me flying solo. Of course, Tyler comes and goes and he's on sometimes and does a few series with us. But I've had a few friends on over the years. Some that, you know, I just lost touch with or don't talk to anymore. And Then of course there are my current friends that I'm slowly over time drifting away from. So I don't want to bother having them on because they'll just be people that I don't talk to in the future, just like the other people from before. So I kind of went in and kind of scrapped our Lethal Company playthrough, which is sad because it's a real fun game, you know. And it sucks. The position I'm in, it sucks because I don't really have but a few friends. So I don't have the body count necessary to play things like Among Us, Fall Guys, or Lethal Company, which at the end of the day is one of my biggest, one of the things I'm most sad about when it comes to content creation is that I don't have a squad. I don't have friends that stream. I don't even have friends that are that interested in playing multiplayer stuff these days. So some games I just don't get to play online. I've got Phasmophobia, I've got Friday the 13th. And all these games just kind of sit unplayed, unused, because I just don't have the body count necessary to make the multiplayer work. I went to Reddit the other day. Yesterday, actually. Last night I went to Reddit. I went to the Pokemon Home subreddit because I wanted to ask everybody if they finished. There's an achievement on there for a host a room trade. I think you got to do it 20 times. The problem with that is that it doesn't work necessarily like the GTS or Wonder Trade to where randos will just join it. I think you specifically need somebody to actively join it. Like you need to IRL say, hey, go get it, go join it right now. It's searching for people. So that's an achievement that I can't get because I don't have any friends that use Pokemon Home. So I turned to Reddit, much to my disdain. And I may be able to get the achievement that way, but I might utilize Reddit going forward. I think what I'm going to do in 2025 is I think I'm going to use Reddit to reach out to other streamers, and I think I'm going to see if I can't like create a network of friends so we can play stuff like Among Us, Lethal Company, Phasmophobia, Friday the 13th, Fall Guys, those kind of like party-esque, everybody's playing all at once games. Hey, how's it going? I hope you're having a terrific Sunday. I'm having a fantastic Sunday. It has been a chill day since I woke up. But yeah, I think that might be the smart move for us to make is like go over to Reddit and then like, you know, meet some new people, make some new friends, and we can do a little bit of squad gaming that way, as they call it. And then we can, you know, we can finally get around to playing Among Us. But in the meantime, I'm still just kind of flying solo over here and doing the solo Let's Play thing. Schnurva. Which I'll be honest with you, that's my fault. I should have done that from the beginning. Instead of trying to get my IRL friends involved with the streaming and the YouTube, since they don't stream anyway, I should have been seeking out other streamers online to work with, you know. That was the mistake I made. I'm gonna have to heal. We're not gonna survive the next attack. There you go, buddy. Mm. I need you not to heal too much. But like I said at the beginning of today's episode, 2024 has not been a great year, but at the same time it has. There's been so many eye-opening moments this year. I've learned a lot this year. I feel like I've really grown as a person. I feel like I really have a good sense now of where I am and where I want to be and where I want to go. Not just with the streaming, but IRL too, I'm starting to feel reinvigorated again. I feel something that I've not felt in a long time. Feels good. I like it. I don't really know what it is, but I like it. I was talking to my friends about this the other day. From 2016 to 2023-ish, we've had to deal with like the fact that Nazis are back and everybody's kind of like drinking the Kool-Aid. Flat Earth is a popular thing again. MAGA hats, just all of that nonsense. So life is kind of, life's been hard for minorities for a long time. Well, it's always been hard for minorities, but like the last 6-7 years have been very rough. And it's just been, everybody's been living in constant fear, what rights are going to be taken away? What are they going to do to us next? How are we going to survive the next jackass that's trying to be Hitler like Trump did? But no, with Kamala, the air feels lighter. I feel happy again. I feel enthusiastic. I feel hopeful for the future. Yeah, it really was. 2024 was intense in every way, good and bad. Yeah. Everything that happened was cranked up times 10. But no, I feel good. Which is something I've not felt in a long time. We just have to knock on wood and keep going. I'm gonna hit you with Crunch. Oh, he's gonna hit me with Mean Look. I have so many things planned for YouTube next year and for streaming in general. Yesterday, I found a shit ton of games for us to play on the Patreon streams. I have a lot of games for us to play next year on the regular side of our streams. Oh, we're gonna be busy. There is one thing that I need to work on, and that is the time, my stream timing. When I sit down to do a stream, I typically have anywhere between 1 to 2 hours in me before I'm just like kind of over it for the day, Well, I've been sitting in this chair for 2 hours. I feel like I'm done, because a lot of times I either, if it's really hot in the room, it can like make me queasy, and that's even with an air conditioner running and a fan running. Sometimes it's still just so hot. Then there's the fact that I could just get bored with whatever we're doing. And then a lot of times, like I talked about earlier, there's the fatigue that comes from not getting proper sleep, So it's really a struggle for me to really do anything beyond 2 hours. But I want to break through that barrier next year. I want to sit down and do like 2 hour streams, 3 hour streams. I don't want to just sit down for 40 to 50 minutes and then be done, because I feel like we're dragging our feet. We're not making enough progress. We're spending too much time on any one game or franchise. And it's funny, it's like I said, I went back the other day and I watched my Donkey Kong Country playthrough, and that thing's what, 6-7 years old now. and each episode was like 40-ish minutes a piece, give or take. And if you stream all those episodes together, it was roughly about a 2-hour watch. So I could have done that entire game in just one stream by today's standards of how I do things. And I thought, well, that's very telling, you know. That really kind of tells you how much time I put into it when I started this years ago. Because like I said, I didn't stream at first. When I first started out as a content creator, I was only doing pre-recorded videos for a while. I think I may have done that for a year or two before I even started streaming. But I didn't record for long. You know, as opposed to today, where I sit down and I stream for like 2+ hours. The ROM hacks look decent. I hope so. I feel like I've let you guys down on the patron side. I feel like I haven't really, I feel like I've kind of not done the patron streams justice. And, I really wanted to find stuff that I thought you guys would find fun. Because one of the things that I keep hearing over the years from people is like, you need to play more. People used to demand Nuzlocke a lot. In the earlier days of me joining Twitch, people were constantly coming in when we were streaming Pokemon like, is this a Nuzlocke? Why is this a Nuzlocke? Ooh, is this a Nuzlocke? And I always had to like disappointingly say, no, we're just doing the story. And then they would leave immediately. Which is fair, I guess. People don't want to watch Let's Plays of just the standard Pokemon game, vanilla in and of itself. They want to see like hacks, ROMs, mods. And I think that's what I'm ready to give to people. You know, I think we're ready to kind of do that. Like I said, we're going to start out doing it on the patron side first, because I don't know how things are going to go with Nintendo. Nintendo is currently like attacking YouTubers. Nintendo is like trying to take down anybody who's making videos on YouTube of hacking ROMs, stuff like that. So the patron streams are unlisted and Nintendo can't see them, so they don't know they exist, and they can't come after what they don't know exists. But yeah, the ROM hacks do look promising. I'm super happy that you feel that way. I was really worried you were gonna not like them. And that's gonna give, like, you know, that's gonna give us a lot to work with in 2025 too. And that's not to say that those will be the only games we play. We will kind of break it up from time to time and do other random things. What in the hell? But yeah, and the patron side too, I need to start doing the patron streams. I get disappointed because like it's just 2 people and you guys are so busy, you don't have like time to really show up to all of them, which is completely understandable. But I've kind of just been phoning it in on the patron side. We don't do maybe more than an hour. So I think I'm going to start investing time into those streams again and trying to make them decent. Yeah, it has been a while since I did a Nuzlocke. You know what we may do? We may do a Nuzlocke on the patron side before we get into any of those ROM hacks that we found. Do you think that's what we should do? Because I kind of feel like maybe that's what we should do. If he uses mean look, I'm gonna be sad. Look at this snazzy ass cup. I got this on clearance at Walmart for like $3. It reminds me of those Starbucks cups you see people have, but I don't ever go to Starbucks because I don't like coffee. I love the texture of this. It's every little square you see is like a raised, I don't know how to explain it. The texture on this is very nice. I love it. And I've been drinking a lot of tea, and I'm putting stevia in here instead of sugar because I'm trying to have extremely tiny low amounts of sugar. switched to Diet Dr. Pepper years ago because I didn't want to keep drinking, like, I didn't want to just drink full fat sodas because that's really not good. That's not healthy for you, you know. It is a very large cup, isn't it? Look at that sucker. Look at that. I love this cup because I don't have to refill it as often. I can fill it with tea, water, whatever, and I don't have to keep running back to the kitchen all day. It's nice. This is the last black one they had too. The only ones they had left were pink, and the black one was missing its straw, so I had to snag one of the pink straws. The thing is, you can't really tell it's pink. The light has to hit it just right for you to be able to tell that it's got a pink hue to it. But yeah, it's the highlight of my day is I got a new cup. But I also have a new necklace, which I'm pretty happy with. But yeah. And somebody was asking me if I was like permanently leaving Twitch after the stream I did the other day. No, not leaving Twitch. Like, we're not abandoning it forever. We're just kind of taking a little Twitch break. We're trying out YouTube at the moment. Hey, I thought about maybe trying going back to Kick and seeing if we can make Kick work, but we're just gonna do YouTube for now. Let me see. 37. I don't know what Pokemon she's gonna use. Crap. Oh. It's time to fire punch you into oblivion, good madam. Yeah, I talked about this earlier, but since you're here now, I'll go over it again. We're having like this late summer unseasonable heat wave. So right now it's very pretty outside. There are leaves on the ground. Everything is in its autumn colors. All the leaves are changing. Everything's orange and red and brown and really, really pretty outside. But it's fucking hot, like summer. But at least it's not a muggy heat. There's no humidity with it. It is a dry heat, which makes it nice. It's just, I can't remember the last time that this has happened. Maybe once when I was a kid. And I was looking at the weather the other day, and they're talking about how it's going to be like this for a while. So even though we're going into November, it's going to be like unseasonably warm and unseasonably dry. We're currently in a bad drought here where I live. It hasn't rained in probably over a month. We've had no rain. I can't begin to tell you when's the last time it rained here. We are dry as a bone. Nobody can burn leaves or burn rubbish or anything because the fire warnings are out. You know, it's so dry. The tiniest little spark could cause forest fires. It's You know, they do the burn ordinance stuff where you're not allowed to burn when it gets too dry. So of course, ever since I was a kid, we've always like raked up all the leaves in our yard and burned them. But I think that times have kind of changed. You're not supposed to do that anymore. He went out and came home melted. Yeah, see, but it's supposed to be hot where you are. It's spring for you. It's autumn for me. Your heat is coming. Your heat has that high humidity to it too because it's spring. Let's see. Are there any other trainers? We fought him, right? No, I guess we didn't. I've never seen Byron spelled that way before. B-J-R-O-N. Interesting. I have a feeling that summers are going to start being a lot more rough on us because of climate change. I think we are boned. You know what I also forgot to do? I forgot to set chat not to fade away. When we do these streams where we have an actual chat box, I try to... Damn it. I'm bad about that. Flamethrower! Hell yeah! Oh, you bet your sweet ass I want flamethrower over fire punch. Ooh, we are gonna wreck this ice gym. Sneasel the weasel. I'm also losing a ton of weight, which I'm pretty happy about because I've been doing all this fasting lately and the weight's like slowly coming off and I already can tell the difference. I can already feel the difference and I aim to keep going. I want to be, as they say these days, a skinty. I'm just tired of all the health problems, you know. Hey, there's the glacier stone. I guess we could go ahead and evolve our two Eevees, Leafeon and Glaceon. We just battled her, right? Okay, good. I think we're almost there. Almost there. It's the gunkiest of croaks. Pop, pop. Yeah, for those of you who might be watching this sometime in the future, I have more or less been on most of the social media platforms over the years. Some I thought were okay, some I downright hated, some were just so infinitely frustrating. And sometimes it wasn't always necessarily the fault of the platform itself. People are just awful. But one of the big achievements, life achievements that I had in 2024 was the fact that I permanently deleted like Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I got off of all of that. Facebook has always been one of those platforms where it felt like older people were on there. And now I am an older people. So I started really feeling like an old man using Facebook. Then there was always the morality behind, you know, the whole Mark Zuckerberg thing of like Facebook using your data for nefarious means. Not that they're not all doing that, but like nobody has been put in the limelight as much as Mark Zuckerberg over it. So I've never trusted Facebook as far as I could throw it. And it got to a point of annoyance with Messenger and everything. I was just so sick of it. I didn't find Facebook useful. I didn't like the whole, like, even though people weren't on my friends list, they could message me, and even though you're supposed to be able to turn that where they can't, and it was just a whole lot. I wanted off of Facebook. Then I left Twitter because, well, that's self-explanatory at this point. TikTok, I had a hard time getting off TikTok, mainly because I found TikTok to be useful for promoting my channel, but because I think more people are on TikTok now than any other platform. I don't like the vertical videos, and I don't like the quick 2-second videos. Then again, I don't like all the TikTok like styles and trends and stuff like that. I found it to just kind of be like for younger people. It's, you know, kind of just wasn't my thing. I don't know. I wanted to overall start to minimize my online footprint because it was too large. I felt that I was on too many platforms. I'm on too much stuff. It's too much to keep track of. So I was very adamant about, you know, lowering that this year, and so far so good. I don't like the fact that I have to be on both Threads and Blue Sky. I find that annoying, that I can't just choose one over the other. I would very much like to choose one over the other, but right now everybody's torn. Half of people are on Threads, half the other people are on Blue Sky, and it would just behoove me to utilize both platforms as far as using them to like promote the channel. I think I like Blue Sky better than Threads. I find Threads annoying for a myriad of reasons, most notably being that no matter how many times I click on not interested, the algorithm just can't get it through its thick skull that I'm not interested in whatever I'm watching or whatever's being put in front of me. So, but if I can grow my Blue Sky account enough and the dust settles after everybody's exited from Twitter, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to make any decisions right now. We're just going to wait it out. See what happens. There we go. It feels wrong to just use thunder on a Baneri, but it took it without feigning. You know what? I don't feel bad about it anymore. This Baneri's done quite a bit of damage. She's holding her own. While I have you here, though, I did want to ask you, how do you guys handle Halloween where you live? How do people in your country handle Halloween? How do people on your continent handle Halloween? I've always wondered that. Might look into that later. Oh my god, finally. We made it! Well, Barry's off to get himself into some trouble. Show me the schnover. Heal up real quick. Well, we finally made it to Snow Point. That's the furthest away town. It is tucked away far, far in the north. Oh. She used a capsule on her Pokeball. Who to use? Who to use? A fairy. I definitely think if you're somebody who, let's say you played Pokemon and you kind of fell off somewhere around Gen 3 or 4 and you haven't really played one since, maybe you tried to come back during the 3DS era and you tried to play like Pokemon X or Y or Sun or Moon or something and you just quite weren't feeling it. One of my biggest recommendations post Switch release is Legends Arceus. It's really different from any of the existing mainline games, and I praised it pretty well because it's a well-made game and it goes outside of the standard that you're used to here with these games. I highly recommend Legends Arceus for people who might want to get back into Pokemon who haven't been into it for a while, or maybe you have been into Pokemon for a while and you're just kind of worn out over the series being like a copy and paste every time a new game is released. The Legends games are a good kind of break away from that. They're refreshing indeed, and I can't wait for Legends ZA next year. It's going to be great. Now I've got to re-heal my team. I don't remember what the gym puzzles look like in this gym. I think it's the annoying sliding around snowball on the floor one. We're about to find out. Yep. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is indeed. Okay. Even though they have a type advantage over Torterra, I'm going to take a moment. Because we can use Earthquake. You son of a bitch. Well, if that's how they want to play this, not letting me actually raise my Pokemon, I'm afraid if that's how you want things to be. I was kind of hoping there'd be a little bit of gray area there, some nuance to these battles. I know Torterra is super weak to ice because it's ground and grass. But I was hoping maybe you would dick around and use, you know, nothing moves and let me get an Earthquake in there. But if you just want to go straight for the throat and straight for the kill, you're gonna get flamethrowered, my boy. What's with my toughness? You fucko! You went straight for the kill. That's all you, dumbass. That is not on me at all. You decided with your ice beam. I'm just trying to make sure that Magmortar is not the only Pokemon I use while we're up here in the boondocks. I want to use other Pokemon. Fine. I'll use somebody else. I know Staraptor is flying and that's going to be weak to ice, but Staraptor's also part fighting. Ooh. Oh, you bitch. People in this gym today decided they were going to try me. You're just wasting PP and time. I need to clip my nails. Now, are you going to use Protect? I did not give her the opportunity to fuck around. With your hair blowing in the wind and your little snow jacket. Okay, now we just gotta maneuver our way around and break through all the snow. Sergio. That scream. Starting to get lost in thought. I'm starting to kind of drift, you know, and like I said earlier, we were talking about like stream length, episode length, stuff like that. It's I get about an hour and a half into a stream and my mind really starts to wander, especially if there's nobody in chat talking to me. Then like I'm just kind of sitting here and I get lost in thought and my brain takes a vacation. I'm thinking about other stuff and, you know, ADD. Yeah, it gives me a turn. I'm sorry, Snizzles. It had to be done. Oh, that was nice. That feels satisfying. Okay. Give me a second to break away all the pieces I can. Ooh. I guess we will end up fighting all the gym trainers in this gym just by design of the gym itself, because we have to go a certain route to break all the snow to get through, and that's going to put us face to face with each trainer at least once. So it's fine. We need the experience. Yeah, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch to Luxray, I guess. Getting into the grindy parts now. Oh shit. Really? Okay. Well, I mean, okay. I got to figure out. No, that was incorrect. That was also incorrect. Yeah, I'm starting to have bad brain fog now that I've been sitting here for like an hour and 40 minutes. Shit, no, that one's in the way. I can't go that way. Okay. Okay. Perfect. It's really simple, but like I said, when the brain fog sits in, my brain gets like to the point where it's at now, the simplest of puzzles becomes a chore. And I had that problem with my Luigi's Mansion 2 playthrough. Like, I'm sitting here, my mouth open, just drooling. And you could tell there's nothing going on up here. It's an odd sensation physically to be where I'm at right now in my head. I can definitely, it just feels like there's no electricity up here. It feels like there's no energy up here. It feels like the synapses are just, they're not firing. They're not doing what they need to be doing. Especially last night, I got terrible sleep. I got a full 8 hours, but I kept waking up. I kept rolling over. I kept like having nightmares and it's just not rest. It's not actual rest. You know, whatever's happening is it's affecting this up here. This is not getting the appropriate sleep it needs. And I'm really scared of the long-term damage, the long-term effects that's going to have. I was doing pretty well last week, you know, like with the dieting and everything, and then like yesterday I fell off pretty much. I ate whatever. I ate too much yesterday, honestly. But it'll be okay. I really need to focus. I really need to focus, you know. But yeah, I think after I get about an hour and a half into a stream, my brain starts to check out. And it's one of the larger reasons that you don't see me streaming 5+ hours like you do everybody else on Twitch. You know, my brain just can't handle it. It can't do it. It could if I were a normal person, getting normal sleep and being healthy, I could probably do it. But in my current state, this is impossible for me to do. We are going to fight this gym leader, though. That's a thing we're going to do. We did a lot today. We talked about a lot. We discussed so much today. We fought all the trainers on the route leading up to Snow Point City. And we're going for a badge. We did a hell of a lot today. There's still a lot of off-screen work that I need to do. We need to hatch that Riolu egg. Okay, let me put you to sleep. It was a critical hit too. Not ice shard that will fade here. Fell done. No, we are so screwed. You are. Oh, we survived. Well, I'll be damned. Night night, bitch. Okay. Well, naturally, I'm gonna heal while I have time. All right, my goal, my plan is to heal up. And we're gonna use the sand attack on this bish. Yawn is such a good move to have. Wow, that did nothing. That will, though. Because here's the thing, I don't want to just send out Magmortar and use Magmortar for every one of her Pokemon. But she's going to heal here. Oh, actually, no, she's not going to have the opportunity. Never mind. Yay! Boo! Here's where I don't have a choice but to use my fire. Fire! Straight up flamethrower. Now let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, here's where I'm going to try and use other Pokemon. This might not go well. I don't think we can use electricity on Pallaswine, but I'm going to try and use, here we go. Shit. This was a mistake. I'm sorry, Luxray. I am so sorry. So sorry. I'm sorry. See, that's the thing. I could just go straight for the kill with Magmortar, but I don't want to do that. I want to try to use other Pokemon. That's right. Lower that attack. Punch it in the face. Here's where she's going to heal. Ooh, I did not see that coming. She got me. She got me good. Oh, we're out here just using full-on full restores, huh? No hyper potion? Yeah, Luxray ate it. I feel bad about that. What I don't feel bad about is one-shotting her Obama Snow. She had that coming. Okay. That's fair. How about Bibarel? Bibarel. And then we'll use... You know what? You're part ground. This'll hurt. Don't know why I did not do that sooner. Ooh, Frostless. You're her VIP. No, not VIP. MVP. That's the one. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Nope, that's it. No paralysis, nothing. Oh boy. There it is. That's the one that's gonna fuck me. Oh, is it part ghost? Is that what this thing's deal was? Frostlass is what? Ice ghost or something like that? So physical attacks aren't going to work? Shit. Shit, shite, shoot. Alright, Bibrel. Can't afford a turn wasted just switching out. So I'm gonna have to let you go. Dun, 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 dun. It feels like a cop-out, no? The fact that we just use Magmortar. Magmortar. Ooh, a 72. Avalanche. I don't know if anybody on my team can learn Avalanche. I cheated it. That gives us 7 badges, I think. Yep. It just leaves 1, but you know, before we can get the final badge, of course, there'll be the whole like Team Galactic arc that we have to do, and I guess that'll be what we work on. I guess we're just gonna work on Pokemon Platinum for a bit, and because I did all these Halloween specials, and I'm just waiting on them to release slowly over time. I do want to do a stream Halloween Day. I want to go in and try to get the Terrasolized Gengar. I want to do that event. I don't know if we'll get it quickly or if it'll turn into a 5-hour headache. I have raged at those in the past. I don't think I'll rage this time because I'm going in with I'm going in with so low expectations that I don't think it'll bother me. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but like they recently added Dynamaxing to Pokemon Go, and they limited how many like particles you could collect in a day, and everybody was like upset about it and said, well, this is mishandled. Then they went to release the Gigantamax Pokemon separate, and they waited like a month in between, and then they mishandled that as well. Everybody on the internet is highly pissed off right now and highly upset. Because even on the game's splash screen, it says, we recommend a party of 10 to take on this Gigantamax Pokemon. But then I've seen like 1,000 social media posts of people saying, we had 40 plus people and we couldn't fucking do it. Or 40 people. I don't know if you can do 40 plus. I don't know what the limit is. But I've seen people say they went in with 40 people to do the raid and they still couldn't beat the Gigantamax. So what hope do I have? Like, what hope do people in rural areas have? And I think that's been one of the largest, if not the largest, complaint about Pokemon Go since day one, since the game came out. Now, granted, to be fair, Niantic has over the years tried a little bit at least to make the game playable for people in rural areas, or rural. Oh God, my brain has turned to mush. You know, they changed the way the game fundamentally worked about a year or two ago. So up until recently, like if I turned my game on where I live, because I don't live in a big city or anything, I live in a very small place. You know, where I live, I'm surrounded by trees and woods and forests and shit. So it's not like I live downtown Times Square where there's a bajillion Pokemon gyms and stuff. But I would turn my game on and there'd just be no wild Pokemon here. Then about a year or two ago, or 3, I don't remember how long ago it was, Niantic announced, well, we're going to change that up so that there are more Pokemon encounters everywhere you go. Not just in rural areas, but like everywhere you go in the game. You want to make sure that there's an abundance of wild Pokemon that you can choose from. And I do applaud them for trying to make that work. Now, here's the thing. I have talked so much shit about Niantic, and I'm starting to get a little worried. I don't think it's the case, but I'm afraid that it might be another Game Freak situation where I've shat on Game Freak now for a while, and it turns out that Game Freak has kind of been neutered by the Pokemon Company. Now, if you're not aware of how that works, Game Freak is the parent company who made Pokemon. But when Pokemon became such a huge global cultural phenomenon in the late 90s and early 2000s, they created a company called the Pokemon Company. Now that company handles everything from the anime to merchandising, advertising. It's the top company. And then like Game Freak is under that now. So turns out, from this big Terra leak that happened recently, you know, people hacked Game Freak servers and we found a shit ton of information. Projects that have been canceled, beta sprites, story elements that have been scrapped from games, movies that have been scrapped, movie ideas, future projects. I hear somebody even has a build, a playable build of Legend ZA that's due to come out on the Switch next year. So it was just this huge catastrophe for Game Freak. But do you know what it did? Do you know what we saw? Do you want to know what the real like gem of information was that we got out of that leak? Was the fact that Game Freak has tried for decades to make really fun, really enjoyable Pokemon games. And do you know who's been neutering the fuck out of Game Freak? The Pokemon Company. Because they don't give a flying fuck whether the game is polished. The Pokemon Company doesn't give a shit whether the game is fun. All they want is to make sure that there is a goddamn game on the shelf every year that has the word Pokemon written on it. They don't give a rat's ass whether the game is good or not. They don't give Game Freak enough time to be creative, time to work on projects. None of that. None of that. Pokemon went full Call of Duty where they were just releasing a new game every year. A new game every year, without a doubt, without a rest, without a break. And you can't do that and still be creative at the same time. You can't do that and make a good product at the same time. So I'm worried that I've shat on Game Freak for so long, and it turns out that some of it's their fault, but most of it's the Pokemon Company's fault. Because fucking capitalism. I'm worried that Niantic might be the same way. I'm worried that one day I might learn that Niantic was actually trying behind the scenes. Like the devs and the dev teams were working hard to make the game great, but through no fault of their own, there was some sort of corporate bullshit groupthink of like, well, we got to have a product. We got to have this. We got to have that. Of course, with Pokemon Go, it's the same game. So you're not releasing a new one every year like you are with Pokemon, but it feels like there might be some groupthink or committee think now on Pokemon Go as to where, well, we need an event for Halloween. We need an event for Christmas. We need an event for New Year's. We need an event for spring, fall, summer, Cinco Muertes. We need Columbus Day. We National Hot Dog Day. It feels like Game Freak is now putting out a set of research for every fucking like day on the calendar that's some sort of like noted event. And for a while it was fun because we were just getting nonstop like events for the game. But then they started paywalling everything. Started off innocent enough, 99 cents here, $1 there. Okay, you need to pay to keep the game going, you know. You have to pay the devs and the people who are actually getting up and going to work every day. So I understand charging $1 or so for the research from time to time. Then they got greedy. Then the research started being $4, like $4.99. Then it felt like every day there was another $4.99, $4.99, $4.99. Now, for the sake of argument, I'm going to open Pokemon Go right now, and I'm going to show you what the current prices are for paid events and researches. Oh, and there's not any free research anymore. Very rarely is any of the research free. It's very much gotten to the point where all of the research is being put behind a paywall. Okay, you have the Pokemon Go Max Out event for $4.99. Okay. You have the Costume Party Premium Timed Research for $1.99. Oh, now it's focused. That's two researches on the board at the same time that's paid. Here's the big one. Pokemon Go Wild Area Global Ticket. Let me get the camera to do its thing. It'll focus in a minute. Give it a minute to focus. Give it a minute to focus. You see that? I know it's blurry a little bit, but can you see that? Focus. $11.99. $11.99. Then there are the other issues with the game. There's the fact that so many people have just stopped playing. It makes it hard to join raids. It makes it hard to get lucky trades. It makes it hard to play the game in general. A lot of gyms will just sit for weeks or months at a time without your Pokemon being returned. And this is a problem everywhere. That's not just happening here. So I think Pokemon Go is on its last legs. They mishandle every event, every release. And despite the fact that there are a shit ton of Pokemon from X and Y that haven't been released, there's a shit ton of Pokemon from Sword and Shield that haven't been released, from Scarlet and Violet that have not yet been released. And instead of releasing these Pokemon through, in the wild or through major events, they're just putting them out piecemeal. Just one fucking new Pokemon every year. We just got Morpeko. And instead of making it easy to get, Morpeko was a little more on the difficult side. It was behind research that's behind they put it in the Go Battle League. Now they did make some free research available, which kind of counters what I've been sitting here talking about. But you only got like 1 or 2 at best Morpeko out of that. So people who want to get like a 3-star or one that's halfway decent for battling, or for people like me who want one to keep and one to send to home to finish the living dex or the Pokedex at home, it could be problematic if I only get the one Morpeko. And I've noticed that they're doing that with a lot of Pokemon recently. They're not just releasing them into the wild as new releases. They're putting them behind special stuff. Rotom is a good example. Rotom was released years ago. He was very briefly in the game, and then every once in a while they'll release a new Rotom form and they'll put it behind some sort of event. But right now, I can't get Rotom. Not only do I not have Rotom in Pokemon Go, but I don't have an extra one to send to home to fill in the data for it. So it's very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. There's also a huge problem outside of everything I've mentioned. I've noticed that on social media, if you have the audacity, if you have the balls the nerve to go against Niantic and say anything remotely disparaging about them, all the simps are going to come out of the woodworks and attack the fuck out of you, because it's happened to me. It's happened to other people I've seen make comments on threads and Blue Sky and social media. There are simps out there who are just going full-blown jackass over Niantic and protecting their dumbass decisions. So not only is all this happening with Pokemon Go, it's become incredibly difficult to chastise Niantic for any of their decisions, because people who are super wrapped up with this gotcha game, with this fucking money making app, they're so apologetic towards it that they don't want to hear you criticize it in any way, shape, fashion, or form. So that's a huge secondary problem that's going on with Pokemon Go, is that apparently you're not allowed to have an opinion anymore. No matter how correct your opinion might happen to be. But we'll see where it goes. You know, we still have the Nintendo side. We still have all the retro Pokemon games that we could play. We still have Legends ZA coming out next year. So there's still plenty of positive, fun things to look forward to. And with Pokemon, it's just very unfortunate the Pokemon Go ended up where it is today, because it used to be such a fun little game. It really gave me the opportunity to get out and socialize when I normally and ordinarily wouldn't get out and do that. Because where I live, I kind of live in bumfuck nowhere. The city in which I live is nothing but just fast food chains and a Walmart. We don't have any kind of activities here for you to do. There's no entertainment. There's no entertainment industry here where I live. So Pokemon Go has always been literally the only thing to do. That's it. We don't have a theater. We don't have anything. We have a bowling alley that's pretty shoddy and falling apart, and that's about it. We have an ATV park for rich white people to get out and ride their four-wheelers in the wilderness. And those two things might be the only thing we have here. It sucks. It really sucks. So, you know, over the past 8 years, I've kind of used Pokemon Go as a means to go out and socialize. And Niantic ruined that and ran the fucker into the ground. So, and you're probably thinking, well, Eric, you're doing all this bitching. Why don't you just stop playing it? If you're not having fun and you have all these problems, why don't you stop playing it? I'd love to, except for there's one teeny little problem with that. They do the exclusives like Meltan and Gimmighoul, and that ties back into the Nintendo side. If I don't have an active Pokemon Go account to where I can get those exclusives, Pokemon Go exclusives, then I won't be able to send them to home and use them on the Switch side. See what I'm saying? So I've kept Pokemon Go on my phone this whole time, just in case. Now, I took a huge break from Pokemon Go over the last year. The game's been on life support for me. I turn it on rarely. But in the past month, I've been making an attempt. I've been getting out, putting in the gyms again, trying to keep up with the research, I've been actively trying to resuscitate it and see if I can fit it into my life again. And right now I'm kind of in a wait and see position. We will see what happens, because this Gigantamax debacle is a global fuck up. It's not just Eric complaining. It's not just a few people complaining. Millions of people worldwide are complaining about how Gigantamax has been handled by Niantic. Now, I think what we'll see is I think we're going to see some changes. I think that they're probably going to overhaul how the mechanics work. But it is also Niantic. So we do have to kind of entertain the thought that they might not. There's a strong possibility they might just say fuck you and fix nothing. But that's going to do it for today's episode. This was a good one. This was a damn good stream. I was here. I was present for the first hour and a half till the brain fog kicked in. We made it all the way through the route. We fought a handful of trainers. We made it to Snow Point City. We got another badge. You know, I guess the next big story element for Pokemon Platinum here in our playthrough is going to be tackling the Team Galactic stuff. So we'll work on that between now and when we do our season finale. I think we might just make Pokemon Platinum our main focus. We're just going to focus solely on this and get her done, as the rednecks say. All right. See you, folks.